Good morning, students. Today we are going to study the first unit of physics of class 12th, that is electrostatics. Before starting the electrostatics, we would know what does it mean. Electro directly refers to the charge and static directly refers at rest. So we can say that the branch of physics the branch of physics which deals with the study of charge at rest, or we can say that the study of electric field, electric charge, electric potential, etc. due to charge at rest. So what is it? The branch of physics which deals with the study of charge at rest, or we can say that the study of electric field, electric charge, electric potential, etc. due to charge at rest. This unit contains two of the chapter. The first one is electric charge and electric field. And the second one is electric potential and capacitance. Let me tell you one thing, this chapter in your board examination, it is asked in 8 marks. It contains 8 marks for the CBSE board examination. So, moving further, our first topic is charge. What is charge? Charge is the fundamental property of any body by virtue of which it can experience electric field and magnetic field. The process by which, let me tell you one more thing, that is the process by which a body or a substance acquires charge is called electrification. Is called what? Electrification. Charge is a scalar quantity. It is a scalar quantity. It is denoted by small q, and its unit is, actually it is having many of the units. Let me tell you about all those units. That is, first of all, we would learn what is SI unit of charge. The SI unit of charge is coulomb. Another unit in CGS system, it is written like stat coulomb. One more unit of this, that is electromagnetic unit. What is called? Electromagnetic unit, and that unit is called ab coulomb. What is the relation between all these among all these three? So 1 coulomb is always equal to 3 into 10 power 9 stat coulomb, and it is equal to the 1 by 10 of ab coulomb. Another unit of charge, that is, and this one is the biggest unit of charge, that is called farad. That is called farad. So 1 farad is always equal to 96500 coulomb. To know the basic concept of charge, we are moving further. That is the next topic, that is concept of charge. Charge can be understood on the basis of following example. Let us take Na. Na is called sodium. It is having 11 electron and 11 proton. And what is the electronic configuration of it? That is 281. Means if it loses one of the electron, it can complete its octet. So if it is losing one of its electron, then it has only 10 electron. And what about the proton? It has 11 proton. So here, due to excess of proton or due to excess of positive charge, there would be Na plus. Similarly, we are taking Cl. You know what is Cl? That is chlorine. It is having 17 of the electrons, and the electronic configuration is given like 287, and the proton is 17. Now, if it is given one of the electron, then it can complete its octet. That is why one of the electron is being given to it, and due to which electron becomes 18. That is why one negative sign is there. So we can conclude with it, if a body loses some of the electrons, that becomes negatively charged body. If a body loses some of the electrons, that becomes positively charged body, and the body which attains some of the electron, that becomes negatively charged body. One of the question arises, why only the electrons are being shifted? Just because of this, that the mass of proton is always equal to the 1837 times of the mass of the electron. That is why electrons are working as a charge carrier. To know the nature of charge, we have several phenomena. Let us take some of the observations. The first of all, we are taking observation. We are taking a glass rod. And we are rubbing this glass rod with the silk, and when it moves close to the bit of paper, that attracts bit of paper. Similarly, when we take a plastic rod, and we are rubbing it with the help of silk, and we are getting it closer to the bit of paper, it also attracts. That arises a confusion that charges always attracts only. No, it is not so. For proving this, we are taking another glass rod, saying this glass rod is G1 and this one is G2, and we both are rubbing that glass rod with the silk, and again we are taking it to the bit of paper, close to the bit of paper. Again, what we see that there is increase in attraction. Also, we are taking two of the plastic rod called P1 and P2, and we are rubbing with it silk. Then we are taking it close to the bit of paper. Again, what we see that attraction increases. What is that? For this observation, we conclude we are making some of the combination. When glass rod is attached with the glass rod, that increases attraction. That increases attraction, due to which that when a glass rod is rubbed with the silk, that becomes positive charge, and when plastic rubbed with the silk, that becomes negative charge. Then two of the positive charges makes a bigger positive charge, then the attraction increases. And when two of the plastic rods are rubbed, then that also increases the attraction. That means it becomes more negatively charged. But what we conclude, what we see, that when a glass rod is combined with the plastic rod, that means one positive and one negative, then it tends towards the neutrality. So as in mathematics, plus minus cancel out each other if both the charges are same in magnitude also, then they can cancel each other. So in physics, it was introduced by the first Benjamin Franklin. He is the American physicist who has given this. Then the charge can be indicated in terms of positive and negative. Moving to the next observation, what we see, if we take a rod which is positively charged and hang with it somewhere, and another rod which is also positively charged, we are hanging it somewhere, what we see, these both the rods are positively charged. What we see, when a positive charge rod get closer towards the first case, towards the first rod, it repelled and goes another direction. As when a negatively charged rod get closer to another rod, then it attracts towards the rod. By this we can conclude that like charges repel each other, and unlike charges attract each other. With the help of another experiment, we can explain it. And that experiment, what we are going to do, we are taking a rubber rod hanged somewhere with the insulating material. This one is rubber rod. And another we are taking, that is a glass rod hanged somewhere. When a rubber rod gets closer to the rubber rod, they repelled one another. And when a glass rod gets closer to another glass rod, they repelled each other. But what we see, when we get closer a glass rod to the rubber rod, they attract one another. So by this we can conclude that like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. Moving on our next topic, that is methods of charging. What is our next topic? That is methods of charging. How can you charge a body? So for that, there are three methods. First one is that charging by physical contact. This is also called electrification. This is also called electrification by conduction. It is also called what? Electrification by conduction. What is it? It is if a uncharged conductor touches a charged conductor, it may acquire similar charge. As of charged conductor. as of charged conductor. It is just because some of charges or some charges are shared with uncharged body at a point of contact. So we can conclude that charging by physical contact, when a charged body get closer or get in contact with the uncharged body, then what happens? Sum of charges, they share sum of charges. This phenomena is called charging by physical contact. The second phenomena is charging by friction. It is also called charging by rubbing. So it is also called frictional electrification. What is this? Charging produced due to rubbing of two suitable material under suitable condition. This is called what? Frictional electrification. One of body which is rubbed will lose electrons. On the other hand, other body will acquire those electrons. The body which loses electrons, that becomes positively charged, and the body which acquires the electrons, that becomes negatively charged. But one more thing is there. No new charge is created in the process of rubbing body. There is no new charge is created. That means there should be a conservation. No new charge is created by rubbing of the body. Moving further, the last method of charging, that is charging by induction. Induction is just similar word as inspiration. That means you are just looking forward to another and you are getting inspired with that. So what is that? The process of charging a uncharged body or neutral body, you can say that. Neutral body, placing it nearby charged body is called charging by, what is that? Charging by induction. Let us take example. With that example, we will learn what is that. Let us take an insulating body which is kept on the insulating stand, a neutral body, we can say that is AB. A neutral conductor, we can say that is AB, which is kept on insulating stand. Let in the next one we take a glass rod which is positively charged, get closer to this neutral conductor AB. When it is taken to the side A, all the free electrons of AB conductor, not all the free electrons, the major of the free electrons come to the side A, and that acquires negative charge. In other case, when we earthed that B section, when we earth this, then the free electrons of the earth get its neutralized. In the next case, when we remove this glass rod, the negative charges which are acquiring only the side of A, that spreads in whole the conductor. This is called charging by induction. Now moving further, what is that? Basic property of charge. It has 4 of the basic properties. Let me discuss with you. That is, first one is electric charge. Electric charges are added like real numbers. This is also called additive property. Additive property. The next one is conservation of charge. The third one is quantization of charge. And the last one is invariance of charge. Let us discuss about the first property, that is additivity of charge. What is that? Additivity of charge. What is additivity of charge? Additivity of charge says that total charge on extended body is the algebraic sum of charges in different region of the body. Let us take a body which is having 3 of the charges, Q1, Q2, Q3. Let Q1 is equal to 10 microcoulomb, Q2 is equal to 6 microcoulomb, and Q3 is equal to minus 5 microcoulomb. Then what would be the total charge on this body? That would be the sum of Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. But when we add this, then 10 plus 6 minus 5 microcoulomb. That becomes 11 microcoulomb. So this is the additive property of charge. Moving further, there is another property that is called conservation of charge. What is conservation of charge? Conservation of charge says that net electric charge in an isolated system, remains constant. What is isolated system? That system which is not having any influence of external forces and all. That is called isolated system, which is free from external influence. That is called isolated system. So in conservation of charge, we can say that net electric charge in an isolated system remains constant. The next property, that is quantization of charge. property of charge, that is quantization of charge. What is said? That any charged body can have charge which is an integral multiple of the basic charge, that can be written like Q is equal to plus minus NA, where N can be start from the negative minus 2, minus 3, minus whatever and up to positive 1. That E can be written like 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 Coulomb. It is just because of that electrons transfers from one body to another body in integral numbers, in integral values. The last property, that is invariance of electric charge. This is the last property of the charge, that is total charge on a body at rest will always be equal to total charge on a body in motion. That means Q at rest would be equal to Q in motion. This is all about the basic concept of